All right, y'all, what's up? On this episode of Roast My Carpet, we're gonna be talking about 1911s. It's gonna be a free thoughts on what I think about the current state of the 1911 market. Like they're steadily trying to get cheaper, but are they getting good in value? Are they getting better? Stay tuned past the intro. All right, so this is just my observations about a couple the quote unquote affordable offerings that are being held on the market. I've shot a lot of them that my range has off the top of my head. Usually, if they get a 1911 to rent or a 2011 double stack 1911, whatever you want to call it, 9 mil double stack, if they got it to rent, I shoot it. I've shot staccatos. I've shot the Prodigy. I've shot the new Bull Armory. I've shot the new I forget the name of the stupid thing. It's got the plastic grip. It's like $500 or whatever, and it's got me think. Oh, I've also shot the Platypus and the one that takes the Sig mags. And number one, they all are trying to innovate somehow. Like the one that takes Sig mags, that's pretty cool if you're like a Sig fanboy, right? I can justify buying that. The one that takes Glock mags, the Platypus, very customizable. I was cutting polymer earlier, so deal with it. Sorry. So I can justify that if you know, especially if you have a Glock or you have 100 Glocks. You know, whoever has 100 Glocks, of course they're gonna comment, I got 100 Glocks. That's me. He's talking about me. Of course I can justify you buying a crap ton of Glocks, right? Or 1911s that take Glock mags. You know, then you got one platform that takes the one mags. You know, two platforms that take the one mags. I mean, and I can justify that, but they're all lacking in some aspect. Now, it's the same as a video just made going on my other channel. By the way, if you like hearing me talk, you can go to my other channel and subscribe. Political Civilian. It might be hard to find. I've had it for a while, but I just uploaded a election commentary, election campaign commentary. If you want to see that, let me know. It's on there. My predictions on the 2024 election. Spicy. But yeah, so I think that people are trying to innovate, which I'm all for. They're trying to modernize a platform. It's the same kind of with the AK. They're trying to modernize a platform that is very old, and the operating system, they're trying to change so much. They have one that doesn't take lugs. I thought that was pretty creative. I think Phoenix Trinity made that, and I would love to get one of those grips. Metal grips are just so hard to come by because I prefer building, not buying, and these are the reasons why. And this isn't a buy versus build. I'm going to do that in a separate video. But the reason why is because they're always lacking one form of customization. Now, I will say the Platypus by Stealth Arms is pretty close to a good American made. If they are American made, I'm not sure. They are. They're pretty good custom. Even staccatos aren't that custom. They're more hand fit and all of that, but that doesn't mean custom. For 1911s, they should mostly be hand fit because that's how they're supposed to be made. But most of them are just made in the Philippines by a factory worker who just makes sure that it works and functions. Instead of putting in the trigger that you want, the slide release that you want, the slide stop, the trigger weight, trigger spring weight that you want, recoil, guide rod. Which brings me to my first point. Most of these 1911s, you know, we have the modern technology to where we can use toolless guide rods. You shouldn't require a tool to take down your 1911 anymore. You shouldn't, but most still do. We need to move out of that direction. Now, I'm just gonna show you this. I don't know if YouTube is gonna demonetize me for this. I don't care. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm just gonna show you the difference. Like people are gonna disassemble, and you want to encourage us disassembly, right? So in normal 1911s, you have the bushing, right? And you got to turn this and get the recoil spring out. Just like in this case, right? I'll show you the difference. And I've kind of demonstrated this on a not really a rebuttal video to Eyes and Ears Tactical, but kind of like a demonstration video of like how fast you can take down a 1911. So you see the hole in this right here. Basically, as you like, you have to have a tool for that, and in addition to that, so you push it out, you put that in the hole, it catches it, captures it, and then you can freely pull it out and then just pull the barrel out and all of that, right? So that means you have to carry around this small tool, which is a pain in the butt if you lose it, because then you have to buy a pack of paper clips for like $1 or whatever, I don't know, and then you have to replace it. Or you can just have something like this where all you have to do is take the slide down, push it up, push it back, captures by itself. I didn't even have to push that, and it just fell out. Now I just disassemble like normal. Or with most of them coming with bull barrels, they should come with a toolless guide rod. Now I know they do cost a little more to manufacture, but I think companies can adequately source them. If not, they can. I'd pay a little bit more on top of my premium to get a toolless, just because I know that the engineering went into it to make it more user friendly for me, and I appreciate stuff like that. I appreciate small things like that to help with the usability of firearms. I will always appreciate that stuff that makes it easier for me. Always will, always will. I'll never complain like, man, they made it too easy for me, I can't believe it. No, not me. And I'm sure in 10 years or whatever, somebody be like, I remember you never said that, you said it's too easy now, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, shut up. Most of the cheaper ones don't have metal grips. They're saving money and weight on the polymer ones, but they come with like a plain Jane, like nobody likes unless you never shot a 1911 grip texture. So people are gonna have to get stipple mods, Dremel it down, get grip tape. Anyway, you putting money more into it than you have to, which basically adds to the cost. It's the same as like the debate on Glocks versus P80. You know, are you saving money or are you buying a custom frame out the box? You know, blah blah. So a lot of them do have like the plain grips and do need texturing to go with them, to go along with them, and or grip tape added to them, which is an additional cost. It might not be a huge cost, but stippling can cost upwards of $400. I've seen the whole grips themselves costing upwards of $400. And these people that do the stipples, if you want to buy the full gripple with if you want to buy the grips fully stippled, it's usually like $300-400, or the grip service is less, but then you have to pay to ship your firearm or your grip, whatever, and then you got to pay to get it back usually, or not pay to get it back, but you got to pay for the actual service and then they ship it back. Either way, you got to put more money into it. Like I said, disassembly, the guide rod, that's really a thing that needs to work. I know Bull Armory, they have like a thing where you put it in on the side, or not Bull Armory, the Prodigy, and then that's another thing. Does it mean that it's gonna work out of the box like for $500? I wouldn't trust my life to a 2011 that costs $500. I built this, and this was like I would say about $1,100-1,200. I put more into it, just learning what I learned and how I wanted it fully custom, and yeah, that's how I arrived at this journey. I put money into it and basically threw shit at the fan to see what worked. Another thing, a lot of them have proprietary mags. Granted, there isn't really a golden standard for these yet, but I think that there should be. And if we could make like STIs, the Gen 2s, like the standard mag, because people already have them. People have been getting them for a long time. And why am I holding this while I say this? Because this takes proprietary mags, but it does take STI mags as well. It does work with STI mags, but I did have to tweak some mags to get them to work with this. This is meant to work with Rock Island Armory mags, which are very hard to come by. I've got them to work with the Remington R1 mags, and there's another mag that I can't think off the top of my head, but those are the ones that this is designed to work with out of the factory. But with STIs, it won't lock back sometimes, but it'll still work. So it's, you know, it's a workhorse. But like mags like this, that's modified specifically for this is the 20 rounder and the 17 body. It'll lock back on this, but sometimes it won't on this, and I really got to jam it up in there. And then you see that extra step in there, sometimes it won't actually eject. But yeah, small problems like that. There really isn't like a golden standard for mags other than the STIs, so we need to try to as a community make a golden standard for them. We need to make a golden standard for them. Come on, y'all, we can come together and do that. Okay, let's see. The optics footprint, that's always a big problem. Either they're cut for everything or they're cut for nothing. So they're either cut for everything, which is starting at the Delta Point Pro, which goes down to the RMR with a plate, which I don't like stacking a plate because then you got screws on top of screws on top of screws. You literally have a plate bolted down with screws, and then you're bolting the optic onto with screws down on the plate, which is bolted down with screws. So you got multiple failure points, and I've seen them shear off even with red Loctite, whatever. I think the best like low mount solution that I've seen was the RDSM by Chambers Customs, I believe. They have a pretty decent one, but I like the direct print, the direct mount, because you're milling the optic in the footprint and it doesn't have that much of a side profile. If you have the RMR, it hangs off pretty far. Even with the plate, like having the angles out like that, it still hangs out pretty far. And I think that's a pretty decent snag hazard, whereas this, it barely catches my finger if I want to, you know, rack the firearm or whatever. But if I need to, I can still do it off the face. Oh my god, I just made a whole bunch of people sad. Oh well, it's an enclosed optic. It's not gonna get hurt by some freaking fingerprints. And if I had a bench right here, I'd rack it against it because I trust this thing. It shot pretty fine. Anyways, yeah, I think that the universal 1911 cut, for all of y'all who are looking to get some type of 1911 cut, I want to say it's the Shield Arms cut, I believe. The one that fits the 507K and the 507, the 407 and the 507K, or the Romeo Zero footprint. That's what direct mills on most 1911 slides. Really good direct mill, and if you get iron sights built into it, even better. If not, get your iron sights mill to the front for all you newbies looking. All right. Is there such thing as a affordable custom quality 1911? That's three contradicting things. You can't have affordable, custom, and quality. Those three it's always one that suffers. Now, I hate to throw PSA under the bus because I love them to death, but usually when they have something on the affordable line, it's usually lacking in quality control. And it is usually custom-ish, as custom as they can make it for, you know, the amount that they're giving it out for. But their new Saber products have been coming out, and they've been pretty good. They've been increasing the quality control. Actually, I have a video that I'm thinking about recording about their ammo. Their Saber ammo is actually better as far as quality control than the normal ammo, if that makes sense. I've actually been checking it. I found 2 rounds out of probably, I don't know, I've shot thousands at this point of PSA's ammo. But their recent 7.62x39 ammo, I bought this black tip Saber, and then I've bought a whole bunch of their older ammo, and I've been, you know, measuring it. Actually, I did one for the video. An ant. And so yeah, I've been measuring it for the video, and yeah. So yeah, those three, I don't think they can really coexist yet. But I think if a company was capable of doing it, it would probably be PSA, just because I've seen their mission and I've seen what they're really about. They are trying to bring stuff to the market as affordable as possible, and what they want, and people do want affordable custom stuff. This isn't on their market right now though. They already have so much on their plate that if they did do this, it would be like probably next year or something. But bump that. I want the 308 Jackal. I'm still waiting. Anyways, US made is hard to come by. Very true. Most 1911s are actually made out of the country. I think one of the only one that's made, I think Phoenix Trinity is US made, and I think Staccato. Those are the only ones that I can think of off the top of my head. I'd have to look it up and see which 1911 manufacturers are, you know, but they all, I feel like most of them get their parts from somewhere and then they might polish them up and stuff. No, Chambers Customs is also another one that's US made, and they only make like 60 guns a year, 66 guns a year, which is really increases their premium, but their quality is pretty awesome, I would, if I do say so myself. So yeah, that's what I got to say about that. That's all I have to say about that. But I think if we just give it time, and if you really want something truly custom, like truly fit to you, I wouldn't say buy another platform and do it yourself. I would say start your own project, learn the ins and outs of your firearm, and once you actually know how to assemble and stuff, you can actually diagnose problems, because you might have caused them. Actually, you probably did cause them if you built it, but you will learn how to diagnose problems, and you'll know how to actually fix operating systems on the fly. And that's one of the biggest things that I think you can't really take away from builders. If you just buy it, you just be like, dang, I don't know how it works, I'm sending it back, and if it doesn't work too often, I'm just gonna get a refund and blame the company and be mad about it. Whereas if you buy it, right, or if you buy the parts for it, you can fit the parts and be like, well, I know that's not in spec, measure it, be like, I can probably make that part better. Make the part if you're good at that type of stuff. And then, you know, well, that part didn't work either. Maybe I need to tune this spring, or maybe I need to make a spring that'll fit better or do better or has more torsion power or whatever. If your brain works like me, I have an engineer's mind, so I like building stuff, learning how it works, and actually making it work. That's basically what I do for work. So if y'all like what I'm throwing out, like, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff. I'm trying to lean away from the range footage for like a couple months, trying to build up a decent stockpile of ammo. The news calls a stockpile of ammo like 100 rounds. It's crazy. But let me know what y'all think about these type of videos. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff. And if you like these, suggest comments in, or suggest topics in the comments down below. And if you like me talking, I'll talk about other stuff on my other channel, so maybe tune into that. All right, peace.